The first thing I remember is the smell of wet fur, copper, and something like rotting leaves left too long in a ditch along Bray Road. Anyone from Walworth County knows that the stretch between Elkhorn and Lyons, with cornfields on both sides, the occasional farmhouse light, and long gaps of darkness where the road feels older than the pavement laid over it. I'd driven it 100 times, but that night it felt like the road was watching me. I was heading east just past Hospital Road, where the fields dip and the tree line crowds in. The moon was bright enough to silver the frost on the grass, and the air had that late October bite. I saw movement on the right shoulder, something hunched over, digging at roadkill. At first I thought it was a big dog or maybe a coyote, but then it stood up. It didn't rise up like an animal, it unfolded. The thing must have been 6.5, maybe 7 feet tall, with shoulders too broad for anything that walked on 4 legs. Its fur was dark brown, or black and matted along the arms. The head was wrong, too long in the snout, too narrow in the skull, like a wolf stretched upright. And the eyes, they reflected my headlights with yellow shine that wasn't just animal instinct. It felt like recognition. I slowed down without meaning to, my hands locked on the wheel. The creature stepped into the road, claws clicking on the asphalt. I'd heard stories everyone around Elkhorn has. The beast of Bray Road, the werewolf, the thing people swear they saw since the late 80s, usually near farm fields or old gravel pits. I always chalked it up to misidentification. Maybe a bear wandering too far south, but this wasn't a bear. Bears don't stare at you like they're deciding what you taste like. It tilted its head, sniffing the air. I could see its breath fog in the cold. The muscles under its fur twitched like it was fighting the urge to lunge. My truck idled, engine rumbling, and for a second I thought the sound might provoke it. Then it dropped to all fours. The speed, oh God! It moved like a wolf but heavier, the shoulders rolling, claws scraping the pavement as it circled towards the driver's side. I slammed the accelerator, the tires spun on the frost before catching, and the truck lurched forward. In the rearview mirror, I saw it chase for a few strides, fast enough that it closed half the distance before I hit 40. Then it veered off into the ditch and vanished into the corn. I didn't breathe until I hit the lights of Elkhorn. I pulled into the parking lot of the old gas station on the corner of Highway 11 and 67. My hand shook so badly I couldn't get the keys out of the ignition. I sat there, staring at the dark road behind me, half expecting to see those yellow eyes appear between the pumps. Locals always say the beast shows up near the edge where farmland meets the woods, where the road dips, where the night feels too quiet. They say it watches. They say it follows cars sometimes. They say it's been around longer than the farms, longer than the roads, maybe even older than the county itself. I used to laugh at that. Now I avoid Bray Road after sunset. And when I do have to drive it, I keep the windows up, the doors locked, and my eyes on the fields, because somewhere out there, between the corn rows and the tree line, something stands up on 2 legs and remembers the shape of the people who pass through its territory. The nights along Bray Road always felt older than the farms that bordered it. But in the early 1990s, before the sightings made the papers, before Linda Godfrey started collecting stories, those of us who lived outside Elkhorn already knew something walked in the fields. We just didn't talk about it, not unless the corn was high, the wind was low, and the person asking had that look in their eyes that said they'd seen something too. I'll tell you what I saw. I'll tell it straight, the way it happened, because I haven't slept right since that autumn. My farm sat a few miles south of Bray Road, close to the stretch between Hospital Road and Briggs. Anyone from Walworth County knows that run. Cornfields on both sides, a few patches of woods, and long dips where the road sinks into the shadows even on a bright day. Back then the county didn't salt the roads as well as they do now, so the first frost made the asphalt shine like black glass. I'd been baling hay late that night, October 1992. I think the kind of cold that makes your breath hang in front of you kind of like smoke. I loaded the last bales onto the truck and headed towards town, planning to drop them off at a neighbor's barn before heading home. The radio was low, some AM station fading in and out. The fields were dead quiet, no crickets, no wind, just that heavy, expectant silence that settles over farmland when winter is coming. Then I saw something crouched on the shoulder. At first I thought it was a big dog, maybe a stray German shepherd or a coyote. As I got closer, the shape didn't look right. Too broad in the shoulders, too long in the arms. It was hunched over something in the ditch, tearing at it. Roadkill? I figured a deer, maybe. My headlights watched over it, and it stood up. Not like an animal startled by a truck. Not a jump or a scramble. It rose slow and deliberate, unfolding itself until it towered over the ditch. 6 feet, maybe more. The fur was dark brown or black, matted along the arms. The head was wrong, too. Too long of a snout, too narrow in the skull, like a wolf stretched upright. Its eyes caught my headlights and flashed yellow. I froze. My foot hovered over the brake. The truck rolled forward on its own momentum, slow enough that I could hear the gravel crunch under the tires. The creature stepped into the road. It didn't growl, didn't bare its teeth, just looked at me. Head tilted slightly, like it was trying to figure out what I was. The breath coming from its muzzle fogged in the cold. Its chest rose and fell, slowly, heavy breaths. I heard stories everyone had. Farmers losing livestock, something seen near the old gravel pits, kids claiming a werewolf chased their car. But stories were one thing. Seeing it stand there framed in my headlights was something else entirely. Its claws clicked on the pavement as it shifted its weight. The muscles under its fur twitched like it was deciding whether to charge. I finally found the brake pedal. The truck stopped. The creature didn't. It took one step towards me, then another. I slammed the accelerator. The truck fishtailed on the frost before catching, and I shot forward. In the rearview mirror, I saw it drop to all fours and sprint after me. The speed, God help me. It moved like a wolf, but heavier, the shoulders rolling, claws scraping the pavement. It kept pace until I hit 30, and 40, it fell behind, and 50, it veered off into the corn and vanished. I didn't breathe until I reached Elkhorn. When I finally got home that night, the farm felt different. The woods behind the barn seemed deeper. The cornfield seemed too quiet. Even the cows stayed too close to the barn that night, restless and uneasy. For weeks afterwards, I heard things, heavy footsteps in the field, low growls carried on the wind, something brushing against the side of the barn after midnight. Once I found claw marks on the wood fence. Too high for a dog, too narrow for a bear. People started reporting sightings the next year. Newspapers called it the Beast of Bray Road. Some folks laughed. Some swore it was a hoax. But the farmers around here, the ones who work the land at night, who know the difference between a coyote's cry and something else entirely, we didn't laugh. We still don't. Because something walks those fields. Something that remembers the shape of the people who pass through its territory. And every time I drive by Bray Road after dark, I keep the windows up, the doors locked, and my eyes on the tree line, just in case it remembers me too.